Assalamualaikum dear students of class 9th. This is your English teacher. Let's move towards the prose, the fun they had. This is on your book course on page 28, prose number 5. The fun they had. Firstly, it has been written by Isaac Asimov, 1920-1992. Russian-born American writer, is known for his science fiction and for his popular works in all branches of science. Asimov's encounters with science fiction magazines led him to follow the dual careers of writing and science. He entered Columbia University at the age of 15, and at the age of 18 he sold his first story of Amazing Stories. If you want to read more about him, you can go through it on page 28. Now let us see the fun they had. What is it about? The fun they had throws light on an interesting aspect of the technological world we will have in the future. Consequently, it is set in the future where two children discuss the way things functioned in earlier days. Further, they talk about the books which comprise of paper instead of books they have now. Books they had now. So, telebook, I have used a word, or it's in your book also. Telebook is electronically composed digital book. So further, they talk about the books which comprises of paper instead of telebooks they had now. It's rather interesting to read about the conversation between the little kids. They get fascinated, surprised by the concept of school which prevailed in the days of their grandparents. Moreover, they also talk about how those days were much more fun. The fun they had does show us the reality of technology taking over in the near future. This is the introduction of this chapter, the fun they had. Now let us start the chapter. In this chapter, it begins with two children named Margie and Tommy. So you will remember it started with two children, Margie and Tommy. It takes place in the world of the future where computers dominate everything. Moreover, it also shows how the concept of schools and classrooms has transformed completely. It is the year 2157. 2157. Today it is 2020. It is 2157. And Margie is writing in her diary about how Tommy found a book. This book was of Tommy's grandfather when he was a little kid. Margie learns about how they used to print all the stories on paper back then. Further, they read the book themselves and find the feelings of turning pages were rather funny. It was funny because they were not in the habit of reading subtle words. Subtle means the words that are printed on a book. Because they were not in the habit of reading subtle words, only ones in the motion, that too on the screen, as it was a time when everything was dominated by the computer. We learn that in the future there are no books, only telebooks. I have already told you, telebooks, electronically composed digital books. They store them in TV sets and computers. After that, it takes an interesting turn when they discuss school. So discussion were between Tommy and Margie. Margie learns that schools were very different back then. So they learned that they heard that the schools that were used to be in their time of their grandfathers, grandmothers, they were very different. They had actual persons who were teachers. That schools had also teachers. It is surprising because she has only robots which teach her. Moreover, she does not like school because of a lot of reasons. The school she studies does not have any classmates. In fact, it does not even have recess or playground. Margie and Tommy study in a virtual classroom. They have robots as teachers. Most importantly, her school is next to her bedroom only. It is a room full of electronics, robots, and gadgets. The computer software teaches her everything. When she starts studying, she cannot help but think about the earlier days. Margie wonders about the fun her grandparents would indulge in. She imagined kids from different neighborhoods coming together merely to attend school. Moreover, the fact that they were taught the same thing amused her. It was because everyone would help each other out with their homework. Thus, in the end, she is left wondering about the fun they had. If we go towards the conclusion of the fun they had, to sum up the fun they had summary, or I have explained it to you, if we sum up this all, it throws light on emerging technology and how it is overtaking the world. Thus, in the near future, it would not be surprising if teachers were replaced by robots. So, this was all about the chapter I have told you, and I hope you would have understood this, or you will also go through the chapter by yourselves, and you will also go through the glossary given on page 32. You will learn them all and you will also understand them. This was all for the day. Have a good day. Bye.